let's do some like spot.
Alright.
Sick, okay.
You can hang it on the idol on the skeleton.
Woo! Skeleton!
So, we're coming around to CephalonChat. As always, I'm Becky, that's Logan, and he's Jason.
I'm Jason.
No, really. I'm Jason.
I'm Logan.
I'm Becky.
Oh my god.
When we're all actually the same person.
We're all just voices in my head.
Get the starting soon screen off. I'll beat you up.
There you go. We got some pretty sweet lineup for you guys today.
Yeah.
We got a guest interview. We're gonna talk Nightwave Glassmaker. We got some funny memes, bringing that back, and then at the end we're just gonna show off some Ash capturas and remind you guys about the contest and some final notes about where we're going, what we're doing, things like that.
Yeah. Deku, don't remind me about the ooh voice. It might come back at the end of the stream.
Okay.
Do we want to head over to our fishing spot?
Yep, I just finished my mission. Just give me 1 second.
Which fishing spot we going to today, boys?
Well, we did what we do last time.
We did Fortuna last time, but I say we should go to Fortuna again because I want to get my standing up with them. I need more fish.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I need fish. I guess a quick hello. How's everyone doing? If you haven't noticed yet, it's a double affinity weekend for Warframe. So if you haven't, I clicked the wrong one. Hold on. What did I do? Something wrong.
You didn't click anything wrong.
Alright, let's try that again. I clicked the X, actually. That's what I clicked on accident.
Oh, it's okay.
I clicked the play button thinking that would fix it.
Yeah, me and Logan both voted yes, so it would have just taken us anyways.
Alright. Alright, anyway, so take advantage of that double affinity weekend. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, don't forget it stacks with the market booster and cat buffs, so there's a potential to get, what is it, like an 8 times booster? Because 2, 2, 4, 4, 2 is 8. Yeah, 8 times booster.
8 times, jeez.
Which is
this,
definitely crazy.
This doesn't look like Fortuna.
I said planes.
Oh. I asked for Fortuna.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we're here now, so.
I'm gonna choice.
We've only done Lake Your Ocean, so let's do some lake spot.
Alright.
Sick, okay.
You can hang it on the idol on the skeleton.
Woo! Skeleton!
So, what kind of stuff do you guys have to level? Anything interesting?
Weapons.
I don't have much at all anymore.
Weapons, and going to be like 6 Warframes at this point.
Yeah, I'm running out of stuff.
To which I say a polite, I'd like to say a polite thank you to those who had gifted Warframe slots, because God, I hate being a new player because I have to literally use plat on everything and anything. I just want to play the game.
Well, Logan, you know how many die? You greedy?
Oh my god. It's not worth it now.
Charkeel!
Oh, you gotta love how broken fishing is
there
now.
We go. I just had to dive into the water first. Alright, so we got a Norg bait, and I'm gonna throw down
I think Norg is night, right?
Yeah, I'm just throwing down.
Here, I'll throw one out too. There we go.
We can do it. A couple. So for starting off, I keep forgetting his name. It's Hydros up there.
Yeah, Hydrogen.
Is he ready on, or are we gonna do some?
I'm pretty sure that he should be ready. Let me ask.
I don't want to dive too into a topic and then have switch out just yet.
Yeah. Oh, Octavia, Titania Prime, Overlap Prime, 8,000 weapons. Yeah, that's kind of a mood. Except I have more Warframes than weapons, which is kind of problematic. Because Warframe slots are more expensive than, you know...
Yeah, I should really Forma things, but like Forma Warframes. But I couldn't be bothered. even
We
even with an
literally
8
could
times
not.
booster.
That's what I'm thinking. I'll probably try to like form some weapons and frames, so I can spam making formas day after day.
Might Forma my new core.
That's a good.
Hi, Flowers.
I slapped a potato in my Gara
Nothing
today,
such-
and I'm probably going to end up formatting that.
If I can, okay. So flowers, you're gay and depressed, or am I confused on that one?
I'm pretty sure that's Flowers. Gotta wait for that 6 stream delay.
Got some flowers.
Nothing
Okay.
Okay,
that's-
perfect.
Nothing
Good to
some
have.
strong. Nothing some strong beer can help. That sounds like a party.
I think we're doing. I'm at least decent. Worked all day long, but now we're here.
Woo!
Gamer time.
Real gamer hours. Is
Alright,
it
I think
raining?
he's
It's-
ready, so
That's right. Okay, shall we just stay here and fish?
ah
during the
yes.
interview?
Sorry, Logan, go ahead.
Do we want to invite him to fish during the interview?
Oh yeah, we can do that.
If you would like to fish with us.
Oh, I don't know if he actually can. Well,
Well,
yeah, he probably can fish.
Next, he said he hasn't done much of the open world, right? Or much, if not at all.
Maybe some of Plains, but I don't think any of Fortuna.
Hold up.
Oh,
Detecting
that's
horror.
topical,
Nice.
but we'll have to wait for that for later.
Wherever it is. The fish are glassed, guys.
Alright, I believe...
Yeah, I have this signed on for now. The 10 out of 10 I'm waiting on. Because I like the Arrestor helmet, but I don't know if there's like a couple of the skins. Like I might get the Grax, I might get the other one.
Alright. So, he is in, he's in VC, so whenever we're ready, I'm gonna drag him over, okay?
I think we're all ready.
Everyone
I
good?
think.
Alright, let's start our nice little guest interview.
Howdy, hello.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Let me just turn up your volume a little bit. There we go. So,
How you guys doing?
good, great.
Doing good.
Nice.
Glad to have you.
Thank you, thank you.
So, welcome to our stream where we talk about things that we pretend like we're experts on. We're not.
No, my pleasure. Thanks for having me here because I'm not really. I know a little bit, but I don't know any more than some people, I guess.
Oh, okay, let's be honest, you know a lot more than the 3 of us combined.
Yeah, I did get pretty. Yeah, I got pretty deep into certain aspects of the game, and then pretty awful at certain other aspects because of how much I know in one area.
I can't even use all the Rivens yet because I'm too low of MR. So
Yeah, no. So if anyone doesn't know, I'm Hydrogen, and I trade Rivens a lot. At least I did when I played a long time ago, and I stopped the game for a couple years, and I'm back now. But nothing has really changed. It's pretty obvious. So yeah, ask any questions you want.
well, us here, we have prepared a list of questions that, figured probably some standard ones, nothing too crazy asking. So I guess we'll first start off with how long have you been playing, if you can, give a
Ooh.
total amount.
Yeah, no. Let's see. Try to dial back so roughly about 7 years. About seven, almost 8 years.
Dang.
Yeah, I have to match it
So-
up with my life. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. That would be 2013 then?
Yeah. I got back from Afghanistan at the end of 2013 or 2012. So yeah, so it's like beginning of 2013. So it should be just about 2013.
Nice. All right. Let's see. So you sell and trade. Well, you trade Rivens and sell them and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So, from your experience, do you like or dislike the Riven market, like as a whole?
That's a very good question and very very hard to answer. No, it's
Even
a
if it's,
We come with the hard-hitting questions.
like, even if it's like a non-answer, like you can't say yes or no.
I would say in its current state, I really dislike it. In the state that it was executed and like introduced, I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a really good option. Like, I thought it was really it opened up a lot of options for players, and it was like a really new aspect, and it was really really cool. And then it just devolved into this really awful looking kind of animal that it is now.
Elitism, plat grab kind of thing.
Very much, yeah. There's a lot going on, and I slowly learned that over the course of like my introduction to Rivens as I transitioned along with everybody else from selling normal mods, like, oh, here's a heavy caliber rank 10 for 300 plat, and then all of a sudden Rivens are coming out and so is selling his for 900 plat, and you're trying to like understand like what's the value in this, and how do you gauge the value of this mod versus another one that has half of the same name in it. Why is one more expensive than the other? And it took me a lot to like get into, and I had to really get into the weeds so that I could understand what, because back then I bought all my plat. I didn't get to play a lot. I was active duty army, and so I didn't get to play a lot, and I had to purchase my plat. So when people are saying, "Hey, this is 1,000 plat," and I'm like, "My guy, that's a lot of money," Okay. Why? And that was what prompted me to do a lot of my research. So
Nice.
yeah.
All right. So, when it comes to like selling Rivens and trading them and stuff, where do you think is the best place to do so? Because there's trade chat, there's all kinds of other stuff. There's Warframe market, which I see seems to be like one of the most active spots for the trade. But where do you personally think is the best place to buy and sell?
It depends on what you're doing. So that's a really good question, because it depends on what you're trying to achieve. So if you're just trying to get a general Riven like that has that you can mess around with, like if you have a really easy goal, trade chat's your easiest bet, because you're going to get guys who want to sell something a little faster. They don't really care about the mod, they're not thinking about it, but you mention it in trade chat and they're like, oh yeah, I have that, and it just sits there and does nothing, and I don't even remember it. And so when you offer money for it, they're like, oh yeah, I want that right now. And so it's one of your best bets is to get the one of the lowest deals is to really just use trade chat. But there are certain other areas when you're looking for really good Rivens. There's a lot of avenues there. So, and I was surprised to find all these. So there's Reddit. Reddit has War Trade. There's Discord. Discord has there's lots of Riven trading Discords. There's Facebook. There's Facebook groups and pages for certain Riven people to post their Rivens.
Really?
And yeah. And then of course there's Riven Market. Now Riven Market for me is my least preferred, because that's where I find the most elitism, as you say. It's the most amount of overpriced Riven, most amount of people. Like if you go there now and you look up a Riven and you put in, you say, okay, I want to buy let's say I want to buy a Cernos Riven or whatever, and you put in a perfect negative, right? You say I want to get this perfect Riven, and you put in the negative that you're looking for, which is like a wide variety of acceptable negatives, so harmless negatives, so to speak. So zoom, weapon recoil, mag capacity, right? Ammo mags, impact for sure.
To corpus or something.
And you don't want those. Those are not considered good Rivens, right? Those are not considered great Rivens. So we're talking about harmless specifically. And you look at those, and you're looking for that, right? You say, I want a plus recoil on a bow or a beam weapon that has zero impact on the weapon at all. and you go to look for that, and as soon as you do like a search, you'll see all these like beautiful Rivens, and then the price tags next to them say 99999,
Yeah.
and you go
Oh my
over
gosh.
it, and it's the same person. I mean, it's the same people that do these things over and over again, and you find these folks, and you realize that these people are just trying to show off. They're not trying to sell the Rivens. They're just trying to show that they have them. They're just trying to declare that they have a lot of mod. They're not putting a price. They're not really using it for what it's for, right? No one's gonna care if you put up a rank 10 serration for 10,000 plat. No one cares, right? Because on Warframe market, because Warframe market is designed to be effective, right? It's always sorted by lowest price. It always is effective like that. Riven market doesn't always work like that when you're looking for specifically good Rivens. So it is definitely my least preferred, but it is the easiest way to find good Rivens.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause
Nice.
that's like on that topic. That's what I've always kind of thought too. Like when you see things for like 10k plat, or even like the classic 9999, it's like no one's ever buying those. It's like they're just sitting up there to like show off. They're trying to flex. Like there's the same with Prime Chamber. It's like it was sitting for like what 9 million or like the highest number cap, and it's like no one's gonna buy it. It's not even like it's a good mod. It's like it's just showing off that you have Prime Chamber. It's like I felt that same way with Rivens.
Yeah, just a status symbol.
It's understandable. Like, if I have a Riven for a weapon, I'll try the weapon. If I don't like it, then I'll just end up transmuting all the Rivens just back into a new one to unveil. Don't really sell. Let's see. What are your thoughts on the current Riven disposition changes and the balance of it right now?
Oh, that's a great question. So they recently changed a weapon that I thought they would never change. So, and they even made a statement that they would not change it. And you guys might know this is the comb Riven, like the comb. So comb Rivens historically, with 100% status chance, the older days, the 100% status chance was incredibly sought after, right? So those Rivens, they sold very well. So 100% status chance, we're talking about 120 plus with damage multi-shot, like plus recoil, like these harmless negatives, or even minus infested, right? Because it's slash based weapon, works better if it's infested, right? So certain negatives are better than others, but they said we will not change the disposition of certain weapons because of weapons like the comb. We won't change the disposition because certain people rely on a specific percentage, and if we change the disposition, it ruins this everything that these people are trying to do. And so they recognize that, and then all of a sudden, I come back. This was 2 years ago, and then I left the game because I had I had my work to do, and I came back and they implemented the status chance changes, and that just wrecked everything those guys were doing. And so then they decided to nerf. They finally, after years, they brought down the disposition of the comb because it's no longer valid. It's no longer important. So it's been tough to like see what DE is doing, because, and they have every right to, like, they have every right to try to balance these to get everybody to use these different weapons, but it makes it harder now, especially so now, like, it's harder to purchase a really great Riven that you're not so sure about, especially if it's for a specific type of build. Like, and what I mean here is specifically is status weapons, right? So it's harder to purchase certain builds that go into status stuff, and have very niche builds, not just like, oh, this is a ultra crit and this is a crit weapon with a crit Riven, done and done, right? We're not talking about those Rivens. We're talking about all the other ones that you have to use for specific builds. Like, oh, I need an electricity on this Riven so I can put this build in and make this extra mod. You have an idea, which is the point of Rivens, right? Mm-hmm. Which is one of the coolest points of Rivens is the flexibility in them. It makes it harder to purchase those because I know, like, even if I'm uncertain, that I'm like, okay, well, what's the likelihood that DE is going to change the disposition of this Riven again? And they said they're only gonna change it one pip at a time, right? So we go from 5 to 4, 4 to 3. Every time they do a disposition changes. But like, take a look at the Kuva Brahma. Like, these Rivens that for some reason are not selling for less than like 1K. They're just they're just not selling for less than a K. And we like, it's so commonly used. It's very obvious that DE is going to nerf that Riven again and again until it's balanced against the rest of the weapons in the game. They did the same thing with Tiburon before I left. Tiburon was incredibly amazing, and then all of a sudden it's like I came back and it's kind of worthless.
I see.
And so it makes it harder to purchase these Rivens because you know that the DE is going to put a lot of work into bringing these weapons down. So I definitely think in the recent times they've shaken up the market a lot by making some of these changes, especially the status chance changes.
All right. Since I'm like kind of new, I was gonna ask, could you like explain what Riven disposition does and kind of is? Because I'm dumb and out of the loop.
No, sure. So Riven dispositions are ranked from 1 to 5, and they are typically based upon the popularity of the weapon that is being used. I mean, that was their initial statement, like way back when. They're like, hey, dispositions are based on the popularity and the usage of this weapon, and what it makes the weapon do. There's a reason that Comb had 5 disposition, because it was never used, right? It was never used. Back in the day, they used, like back in my day, they used Boltor, right? And then it became, the Vectus, and then just, so on to these other weapons, the Atarax and all that other stuff. So these weapons that are incredibly popular, they put those Riven because they're already powerful. The base stats are powerful. You can use mods. You can already do enough with that. And they said, okay, hey, we'll make Rivens for these weapons too, but we're going to bring the disposition down to about 1 to 2, so that they balance out. And then we'll turn these other weapons. Let's take a look at the Hind, or the Leto, right? These other weapons that don't get used so often, and we'll turn those Riven dispositions way up to make those weapons compete against these popular weapons. And for DE, this is a specific, like, this is a capitalistic move, because it encourages you, the user, to spend plat or purchase forma to forma up those weapons, right? Like, it helps them, it helps their business market, but it also helps the player have more options to pick from when it comes to, like, hey, what's a viable weapon in the arsenal of Warframe? And so the Rivens, what they do, they just bring it. They're supposed to be like this great equalizer to weapons.
All right, I see. All right, Jason, you said you had a question.
Yeah, going back on like the status changes. While they may have been bad for Rivens, do you think they were healthy for the overall state of the game?
Oh, absolutely. The status changes were very much needed. I think they did a really great job by balancing it against the crit, because there was no incentive. Again, there was no incentive to go over 100% status chance unless you had a shotgun with pellets in it, and that was just kind of a broken meme, right? So the best thing about that is now I'm looking at status weapons and status Rivens really hard, because I'm like, okay, how can I like make this thing like really cool? So status Rivens are like, so you said status chance might be bad for Rivens. It's not necessarily bad. So now status chances are pretty good. Like,
no, I was talking about the status changes, not just status chance.
Okay, yeah. Oh, the changes in general. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Corrosive was like a lot of the Rivens, like the values change with the patches, of course. So, like the value of having certain combinations, like let's say electricity is not as sought after anymore, because electricity used to be pretty well sought after because it matched with corrosive pretty well. So a lot of these electric Rivens are not really they're worth that much anymore, because corrosive is of course not as as king as it used to be. And now you're looking for toxin, now you're looking for cold. Well, really, primarily you're looking for toxin, especially on primary weapons, because of primed cryo rounds. So you always have to like take into account what mods can you put in that slot. You're looking at melee weapons. You want cold on your Riven because you have primed fever strike, right? So you have to balance what you're looking for on each slot. The secondary has primed heated, prime prime heater charge, and now you don't really know what to do with that. So it makes it really interesting, like basically how the Rivens change in value, because they really change those up pretty hard.
Okay, go ahead, Becky.
All right. See you at the top. All right. So when it comes to selling your Rivens, do you usually try to get the price down when you're selling it, like in trade chat or wherever you're selling it, or are you, or do you just buy as is.
What do you mean? As in?
Like, so let's just say somebody's selling it for like, we were just talking the other day, and somebody was selling a Riven for 1,000 plat, but you got it down to like 450 or something like that. Do you usually try to like haggle and barter it down, or are you usually the kind of just buys as is?
No, I definitely haggle. I haggle as much as I can. This is a bartering game. Like, there's no set price. It's not Walmart. You don't walk in and then, there's a price tag on it, and a tax at the door. It's it's everyone guessing at the and this came from my own like life experience. I didn't start this just from nothing. I didn't really have any experience dealing with the economy here. I wouldn't have done it unless I had experience in a normal bazaar. So when I was in Iraq, I went to a local Iraqi bazaar, and when they're selling stuff, they're literally like, oh yeah, that's like 3 whatever, and you're like, I don't really want that. You start to walk over here. He's like, oh, actually, hey, man, look, hey, look, listen. I can sell it to you for 2. I can sell it to you for 2, and I can give you this Coke for free. I'm not even kidding. A guy did that to me. So he pulled the Coke from his fridge and opened it up and gave it to me, just so I would buy his $2 thing, and I was just really surprised that the flexibility in prices, I'd never seen that before. And that's what negotiating and haggling and stuff, I didn't realize. And then I saw it in Warframe, and I realized that's what everyone's doing. Like, with the exception of mods, like in the unique thing about mods is like, you have Warframe.market, right? Warframe.market gives you an easy boom, like, hey, we can use this as like a general, this Riven, or excuse me, this mod is generally 30 plat. Right, at its lowest prices, and that. So if you buy it for 40, you're like, I bought it for 40, it's fine. But if you bought it for 20, you got a good deal. So it gives you that baseline. Whereas Rivens, people are just making it up. They're just guessing. They're like, I think this is whatever, and you get to do the same thing as the buyer. So I love to haggle. I love to go, hey man, this is why, and I explain my case, and I say, hey, this is what I think I could do with that Riven. The hardest part is not being a choosing beggar, right? The hardest part is not saying like, it's like the choosing beggar meme is like, this is from my friend and he's broke, so please give it to me for free or whatever, right? You can't do that. No one cares. Like, no one cares about that. What you're trying to do is pitch your case and say, hey, listen, this is what I think based on that, on the merits of your Riven, versus what's capable in what it could be used for. This is the value I think it is. So you have to actually appraise the item itself. And that's what I love about haggling. You get to do that with the seller, like right up front.
Yeah, like I guess when people just buy stuff from me that I'm selling on like the market, like once in a while somebody would be like, hey, can you do like slightly lower? And I'll be like, yeah, sure. But then there's also people who come in like, I'm selling something like a new Prime set that just came out for 200, and someone's like, hey, can you do like 100? It's like, nah, man, it's new. Try finding somebody else who's gonna sell it for 100, unfortunately.
yeah, and there are certain people that will do that. They'll just constantly lowball you, and they'll kind of make a joke out of what you're trying to do. And the hardest part about trade chat is that it is undoubtedly the most toxic part of Warframe. Like 100%. It is absolutely 100%. It is where you will find the meanest people, the rudest people, the nastiest interactions you're going to have in Warframe. Because Warframe really is such a really wonderful community. That's one of the reasons I love this game, is that you try to do something, you're like, hey, I need this, and boom, like you got like a guy or two here ready to help you. You talk in region chat, hey, can anyone help me with X? And then 9 times out of 10, you're going to get somebody that's going to PM you, hey, I got a minute, what do you need? But when it comes to trade chat, people are very ruthless. They're just out for themselves, right? And so it's an every man for himself, trying to make as much plat as they can off of everything. This is the majority. This is not everyone. This is just the majority. So it makes it difficult. It makes it difficult to be nice and polite, and that over time it wears on you.
Yeah, I bet. I don't know, I've seen some pretty trashy people in region chat.
Yeah, and it's also people trying to haggle with you, right? That's where it comes from. People trying to haggle with you, or they'll insult you for your evaluation of your Riven. They'll insult you for what you think, and so it makes it difficult. Like the Riven market is definitely one of the hardest markets to deal with in Warframe, and that's why you find elitism. That's why you find these frustrating players, because that's just the nature of that whole community. That's what I've learned over time, at least. Like, yeah, like I said, this is not for everybody. This is just what I've been exposed to.
Yeah. Let's see. What is your favorite Riven?
My favorite Riven?
What is your favorite Riven to date that you have gotten?
Oh, let's see. Sentimentally or like stats?
Both.
Oh. Okay.
Or in
That's
general.
okay. No,
Yeah.
that's good. That's fair. I got a I have a dread Riven. I can probably say it's that. It's a dread Riven. So I have a dread crit of Visican. It's like crit chance, damage multi-shot, minus ammo max. And I got it about 3 years ago, and it was at the time, and it's a high value roll on the damage, right? It's S on damage, which is really high. And the reason it's so important to me is it was a gift to me, as back then I traded my entire Riven collection, which at the time was incredibly good. Even back then I had good Rivens. It was incredibly good, and I gave like all of my so quote unquote god Rivens to this person, and I helped him purchase a prime chamber. This was 3 years ago, right? So this was, prime chamber wasn't a thing, right? The guy wanted like 50k or 75k or something like that, and I contributed. It was my buddy who was buying it, and he's like, man, we were talking back and forth, and I was just like, you know what, dude? I don't need anything that I have. I'm okay with giving this all to you because I only wanted one mod. And I was like, bro, I'll give you all this if it gets you prime chamber, because the mod doesn't exist, and it'd be cool if my buddy had it. And boom, I gave him everything I had. The collection was worth about like 20,000 at the time, like 20,000, which was a lot for then as well. And he was just like, oh, he obviously he was blown away and stuff like that, and it was really nice to do something nice for my buddy. And the whole thing happened over the course of like a day or two. We finally got the trade to go pull off, and I had to it was like a 3-way trade of me giving him stuff and then my buddy giving him stuff, and then he traded the mod, and it was all on level, and we're all still friends. I'm friends with that guy even now. But as a thank you, my friend, who was also an avid Riven connoisseur at the time, he gave me the Dread Riven. He's like, hey man, I want you to have this Dread Riven. And I was like, what's so special about the Dread Riven? And at the time, the market was really small. Like, not a lot of Rivens were rolled, not a lot of Rivens existed, right? It was much earlier in the Riven phase. So at the time, it was one of the best Dread Rivens in the game, and no matter who I spoke to, I could not find a better one. I literally could not find a better one. Nobody had a better one. Nobody had a better stats. Nothing like that. He literally gave me, the so-called best in the game at the time of the Dread Riven, because ammo maximum is really no big deal, right? So it's just a great Riven. And I really thought, he's like, hey man, I want to give you this. I know he's like, as of right now, I think this is the best Dread Riven in the game. I was talking to some other guys. This is what we got. This is what we all think this is the best in the game. He's like, can I have it? And I want to give it to you as a thank you for helping me purchase Prime Chamber. And I have that Riven to this day. So 3 years later, I still use that same one. I still have the same loadout. Everything's still the same. That is easily my favorite Riven because of the sentimentality to it. Because of my friends, I highly value my friends, and because honestly, it's a phenomenal mod. Like, it really is. It's amazing. It's very strong. It's very powerful. So
That's awesome.
Let's
It's
see.
a really cool story.
Yeah, none of my Rivens have stories.
Oh, if you
Most of
want
Jason's
to,
Riven stories are I got them from somebody.
if you want to link, yeah, I was gonna say, I'll show it up real quick.
Holy
That way
shit.
everyone can take a look at it.
yeah, there you go. I linked it there.
Rules. Damn.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. So that damage
That's
roll
not-
is about the maximum that maximum allowable. So it's pretty much the most max roll you can get.
Incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
speaking of max rolls, how do you determine what is the max I guess percent increase or whatever you can get on a Riven?
Oh, that's easy. I use Semlar. Semlar is a phenomenal website to help you price point Rivens and find Rivens that have been posted in trade chat. So yeah, it's www.semlar.com. Pretty great website, like a phenomenal resource. There's a little link at the top. Let me go look at it myself, so I don't give anybody the wrong Semlar.
Becky, that's the one that I used when I was tracking the anomaly for the sentient. Remember in the Veil? Back
Is that
before
also
it
the one
was
where you used to track I was gonna say, is that also the site we use to track acolytes, or is that a different one?
Maybe. I think I just used a like Warframe.hub or something like that, just a global tracker kind of thing.
Yeah, I know me and Jason used to use similar before the for like Eidolons or for Cetus Knight because we used to before they added the game.
Okay, so now I'm here. All right, so on Stemar.com, there's a top link that says Rivens. It's a drop-down menu. That's it, and then you hit the drop-down menu, go to Stat Ranges, and then you always tab over to 3 buffs, and it has Curse. So there's like a little it's like little pip buttons. You just fill out the 3 buttons button or 3 buffs button, and always keep a curse because curses like negative stats. They increase the value of stats. If it doesn't have a curse, the maximum is reduced, right? So all of the maximum potential values are reduced.
Oh.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you always want to like these. So let's talk about quote unquote God Rivens, right? You see this term like constantly thrown around, and most people misuse it. A God Riven is 3 buffs with a curse. So it's the highest potential. Like, so that we did some homework a long time ago. 2 buffs and a curse is always really strong and really nice, but 3 buffs with a curse, in the proper setting, in the proper build, is far stronger. It's always the strongest of all the Riven possibilities. So we know that 3+, 1- is the strongest potential Riven. And you have to find these specific stats in order to make that true, right? You can't just have damage or Grineer and or plus minus recoil and then plus damage. It doesn't mean the damage roll is going to be that high. It just means that the combination of the stats has to be correct in order for that to be the most powerful one. But that potential will always exist for 3+, 1-.
Oh, more you know. Yeah, have a better eye when it comes out to my Riven.
Yeah, anytime they don't have a negative stat on them, they're first of all the minimums are lower and the maximums are lower.
Ooh.
So that's why you need these perfect. Yeah, so a God Riven is a 3+, 1- with a perfect negative. So the perfect negative is not a negative bane such as damage or Grineer, which you'll see people selling. Oh, I got a God Riven, and it has great stats like crit, like crit chance, crit damage, and then multi-shot or whatever, and it'll be like damage or Grineer. It's not a God Riven. It's a good Riven, but it's not a God Riven.
Yeah,
right?
because
a God Riven,
you don't want. Oh, sorry, God.
Oh yeah, exactly. You're already about to say a God Riven's going to have negative zoom. It's going to have a harmless negative that does not impact the weapon, unless there's and the counterpart to harmless is beneficial. So there's beneficial negatives, as we know now. Negative impact, negative puncture on certain builds, negative slash to some people. It helps them specifically tweak that weapon for a build that works incredibly effectively. And that's literally we call those like 4 positive, like a 4 positive ribbon.
Alright, someone in chat said, who is this man? Let's give him 100k plat. But speaking of plat, in an estimate, if you can just get an estimate of it, how much plat have you made off of like selling ribbons? If you can even like fathom whatever number you're gonna get.
Oh no, I have a rough estimation. That's a great question. I'm not like some of these other guys who've been just super dedicated to it and they got so much. The most that I have made off of selling Rivens is roughly around like the 80 to 90,000 plat area.
Oh, dang! It's a lot of plat.
Mm-hmm.
With plat, you were talking about earlier about how much your Rivens were worth.
Mm-hmm.
Back like when you played 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think like the plat market, like the selling for Rivens and all stuff, do you think that market's like inflated and people have just like the prices have only gone like increasingly up over the years and like
keep continuing, sorry, go ahead.
Or I guess more so like however much like a certain kind of Riven was worth like 3 years ago, has it gone up like astronomically to the point where it's like definitely not worth whatever amount you like could have gotten it for 3 years ago?
No, that's a phenomenal question, and it's actually the opposite. So the price goes down.
Oh.
So yeah, absolutely, and it's awesome. I love that about the market because guess what? As I rolled this phenomenal Riven 3 years ago, how many people within 3 years are going to roll those types of Rivens or open or unveil those weapon Rivens, and then all of a sudden it's a phenomenal Riven. So the market becomes saturated with this type of Riven that everyone's looking for, that has the great stats on it, that is the so-called God Riven, right? That's 10k plat. And then now all of a sudden you look around, a couple years later, there's 30 of them, whereas back then there were 2. So because the market becomes saturated, and all those buyers who are paying those 10k prices, they got their Rivens, right? Because listen, let's be fair, not everybody's going to be paying those prices, but since people do pay those prices, that's why people list them there, because there are people that buy those, that just say, oh, that's 7,000 plat Riven, boom, I'll buy that, and that's because they don't care, they want that Riven. But guess what? Once that guy has that Riven, he no longer needs it, and so the number of people that are willing to buy these Rivens vastly diminishes. And this is one thing I could tell that not a lot of Riven sellers nowadays understand, that the market's saturated. It's good. It's done. Like right now, it's full of great Rivens, phenomenal Rivens. Now the harder part is pulling those Rivens off of people who don't want to sell them. That's where some of the harder prices come into play.
Oh, I see.
Oh, and one further to that, I left the game at the height, in my opinion, of Riven selling. So, and I was frustrated. I was so frustrated with the Riven prices. You know, my buddy was selling a phenomenal like Vectis Riven that was like crit chance, crit damage or multi-shot, or some combination of these with negative magazine, right? And that was, you had to have minus 25% or greater magazine in order to bring the Vectis Prime down from 2 bullets to 1, so that Prime Chamber could fit into it and work on every round, right? So there's these specific builds that cost so much plat that people are looking for, certain people, right, with Prime Chamber, and that he sold that mod for 90,000 plat. And wow. I was like, no. I was like, no way. And he sent me a screenshot. And he was like, he no joke sold it for 90,000. I was like, bro, what? Like, and I was just stunned. And I was like, why? Like, these mods. And then I realized, like, even my evaluations are skewed, because this is one of the reasons I stopped playing. Is like, because I was like, no, these mods should be at least 4,000 plat, or whatever. It should be at most 6,000, right? And then I realized, I'm like, what am I saying, man? Because a few years back, I was the same guy going, why are you charging me 1,000 plat? Because that's a lot of money, right? And so I realized how disconnected I had become to reality, to what people are really pricing these Rivens to, and it became really frustrating to just watch and be a part of, and I couldn't do it anymore.
I getcha. What kind? Okay. So this one I just thought of because I thought it might be a little funny. What weapon that like the community would usually consider like useless or bad have you made like pretty great with a Riven?
Ooh, oh man, let's see. I don't even think let me see what I got. I don't think I have much in the way of that, because I as a Riven like trader, I stick to the meta stuff, right? It's really hard to deal with off meta stuff. So and you'll notice this with almost every single Riven seller. 90% of those guys are really out of touch with off meta builds and really great builds that are just like a fraction away from becoming phenomenal weapons that compete at the highest levels. So that's a hard question for me to answer, because I really don't have one. Like the best thing that we did was discover that negative impact was incredibly valuable. That negative IPS was incredibly valuable. That's the best thing that we discovered, because back then, it was weighted. IPS was impact, puncture, and slash were weighted 4 times as heavily against the element. So you had to have negative of IPS stat in order to increase the proccing the elemental status. So I wanted to proc corrosive, and then it was tough, So when we started figuring these out, we started looking into these negative impact Rivens, because I was around for all this stuff, and everyone's like, oh, this negative impact Riven, and then some guy's selling it to you for, he's like, hey man, this negative impact garbage. Here, it's got negative damage on it. You can have it for 50 plat, and you're looking at it, and it turns this weapon into this amazingly phenomenal weapon. And I have something like just like that, which is like these twin Gurkhatas, right? I talked about this with you the other day, right? These twin Gurkhatas, somebody sold these to me for 80 plat way back when, and I looked at this and I was gonna roll it to, I was looking for crit chance, damage, all the ideal stuff with like minus zoom, and then I realized that it's a minus impact Riven. and you turn around and you place this upon. I put it to the Twin Gurkatas, which it took the impact damage, allowed me to proc corrosive on almost every single shot because of the electricity, and I realized that, oh my god, like this is one of the best Rivens in my arsenal, and I got it because this guy thought it was garbage, and I didn't even look at the stats when he sold it to me. I was like, I was like, hey, willing to buy unrolled Rivens, and he gave me this Riven for real cheap, and I didn't even look at it. I was like, thanks, dude. I looked at the rolls, and it was unranked. I didn't care. I was like, cool, it's buy it. And then I went to roll it, and I realized, wow, like this is a thing. So it probably Twin Gurkatas, and the realization of negative impact damage overall. Like this was a couple years ago. That was probably the coolest thing we did. Me and some friends.
Nice. Alright, moving this, unless Jason or Logan have any more questions about Rivens, we have a couple general questions that we usually ask our newbies.
I have one more.
Jason? Alright, go ahead.
So I know we briefly talked about it, but you have experience with the Riven dealers, right? You know, the feared and I don't know if they were self-acclaimed, but the dubbed Riven Mafia. Is there is there anything you want to talk about that?
Oh yeah, the Riven Mafia. That is definitely not self-acclaimed. I was in Riven dealers for a while. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, for anyone that might not know, why don't you tell us what Riven dealers was?
Oh, sure. Yeah, Riven Dealers was a clan that was thrown together by one of the more prominent like Riven sellers and traders back in the day, and we all kind of knew each other because there was like 6 or 7 of us, and we all kind of knew each other. And he PMs us, all of us, and again, I talked about the negativity that's in trade chat. He only talked to the guys that were decent people. He only talked to the guys that were respectful in their trades, not disrespectful in anything. Like they were constantly cordial and just good people. And so he let them all know. I was like, "Hey guys, I'm making a Riven dealing clan to kind of put us together, and we can exchange Rivens and sell it to each other and stuff like that, and talk about prices and make like a community to sell Rivens, and then it could just be a group of traders because we were already friends, and so like all of us were on board, and." Yeah, I was excited. I was like, "Oh, this is awesome! Yeah, of course." So yeah, I joined up with him right away.
Cool. All right. Now that we know what it is, why don't you continue with your experience and whatnot?
Oh, yeah. Riven Dealers was during the period that I left. They got a lot of negative press over something that happened.
It was I've only seen like a handful of videos on it, but it had something to do with Semlar, right?
It was, yeah. I think like my understanding, because my buddy PM'd me on Discord. It's like, yo man, did you see this crazy thing? And I didn't even have Warframe installed at the time because I was busy working. And I was like, wait, what? And I started like looking at my buddy and seeing what's going on. And I realized that he, the clan leader, had gotten into an altercation with, I guess, somebody that was managing Semlar. He was trying to get it taken down, I guess, because they were introducing a new feature that was like identifying price points in trade chat. It was like recording prices, and it basically helped buyers to get a cheaper Riven. Period. It was a great tool. It was a phenomenal tool. And I don't remember his argument, but I remember reading it. As I was reading it, I was like, yeah, that's a silly argument. I wouldn't have made that argument, man. Like, this is a great tool for buyers. And he didn't like that. I forgot what reason why. He had a reason and some twisted logic in his head. I don't remember what it was. It's probably made sense at the time.
Disillusion with the game, full of greed kind of thing, maybe.
I don't know. I don't want to say that because I'm not so sure about him as like a player, as a person, as a dealer. I definitely had my own opinion on him. And I had my own opinion on Rivens in general. Even back then, I hated it because I hated the prices because it was so expensive. And here we are gatekeeping new players because they want to do something cool. And all of a sudden, he goes, "Hey, I want to buy this cool mod," and there's some Riven dealer that's like, "It's 8,000 plat."
Yeah, right. Give an arm and a leg, and 2-3 twirls.
Yeah. So I actually I really hated Rivens. I hated Rivens but you couldn't argue with it because it was a free market. It's a free market. you know, DE said, hey, man, listen, here's capitalism in a can. Good luck. Here's Rivens. Here's randomization. Here's trade chat. Good luck, guys. And it just took off, and it's just capitalism. That's what happened. And it's one of the reasons that, you know, it was just unregulated, and people were just doing whatever they wanted. And until the hardest part about it is that people were purchasing at these prices. If nobody purchased a Riven at 20,000 plat, no one's going to post a Riven for 20,000 plat, right?
Yeah.
But people definitely are buying them, because I sold the Riven for one of my Rivens is like half of my Riven content, or my plat content. I sold the Riven for 50,000 plat. You know, like, and I was amazed. I was like, yeah, I really sold it, and I couldn't believe it. But yeah. But yeah, I had a special rank in the clan. Because everybody knew my stance. These guys were like 200,000 plat, kind of like that's where they sat at, 150 to 200,000 plat on average. And I was like the guy that was kind of the cheap guy. I was down in the dumps with, like, you know, 30,000 plat, you know, 40,000, you know.
You can call that down in the dumps.
Right, exactly, and that's exactly how much it skews your perception of reality, right? Because, you know, once you start making all this plat, you're making 20 to 50,000 plat every other day, because, you know, your plat goes up and down. I realized, like, I mean, I thought I was doing good. I was like, yo, man, I got so much plat, good. And then my buddy's like, yeah, bro, I just hit 220. And I'm like, huh? And then I realized, like,
Crazy.
they're constantly selling their Rivens for exorbitant prices, but people are purchasing them.
Do you
So
think?
what? I mean, good.
No, continue.
I was like, so like, could you hold it against the guy? You know, could you really say he's a bad person?
Mm-hmm.
Could you? You really can't. I mean, yeah, you're kind of mad at him, but you know, hate the game, not the player. Like, that's what he did. Like, the game let him do it, and nobody, you know, everybody let him get away with it. So how can you hate that? How can you hold it against him? Yeah, I don't like it. I don't really agree with it. I don't think that I won't do that myself. And this is why I made very vocal back then. I was like, I'm not gonna do that. And so I sold my Rivens what I would consider to be at an approachable price. You know, I'd sell really great Rivens for, you know, like, you know, 1,500 plat, whereas my buddies would have sold them for, you know, 2,800 plat. The same exact Riven. If it was in his possession, it would be 2,800. If it's in mine, it's 1,500, right? And it's because I was trying to keep approachable prices, or at least what I thought were better, appropriate to the weapon and whatever the fuck at the time, you know. But so they made me a special rank in the clan, and it put me as, I was the only one, honorary Riven dealer, and that was it. So I wasn't like a real one. Yeah, I wasn't a real Riven dealer, but I was in it for a long time because I loved Rivens. I definitely love Rivens. I love all the stuff you can do with them, but the market is what's so awful about them.
Do you think the like the high rollers in your clan? Do you think, you know, when they bought and traded Rivens, do you think they ever used them before they sold them? Or do you
No.
think they just flipped them for the plat?
Flipped. Yeah, 100%. I don't think they used them.
That just kind of defeats the purpose of what Rivens were intended to be on paper.
Yep, I entirely agree, and it's one of the reasons I did not like it. I left the clan for a reason, because I'm surrounded by people who pretend to know what they're talking about. They go to the simulacrum, they fire a couple shots, they're like, "This is an amazing Riven," blah, and then they're like, all of a sudden they feel like they're the experts on it, and you're like, well, I mean, and you know what? And it's very telling, and I do this all the time. Go open their profile up, go to show profile, go over to their equipment page, and look at their stats on that weapon. If they don't have 10,000 plus kills on that weapon, at least, that discredits them. To me, in my opinion, it discredits them.
Yeah, because
because you don't use it.
Yeah, you don't even know it for yourself.
You're just trying to make plat, and that bugs me the most.
You're playing the weapon in a sandbox when you should be out in the field, you know, actually putting it to good use to test it out, to get a feel for it.
Exactly.
Because you never know. Something like one of those triple Bane mod or quad Bane mods are
yeah, those are cool.
they'll really like turn like a crap weapon into just like a god weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't talk.
Yeah, no, it was tough because as the longer I stayed in there, the more I realized these people are truly disconnected from the game. The more I got into Rivens, the more removed I became from Warframe itself, which is just playing the game, having fun with your buddies, blazing through levels, farming for parts, having fun, you know, doing the things. And instead, you become this economist where you're just constantly monitoring prices. It's almost like you're just watching. You're like a stock trader.
It's stock
You're looking at
trading,
Riven.
yeah. That's exactly how I see the Riven market.
Yeah, it's exactly what people do.
It's
they sit
just
there and that's
flipping.
all they do.
It's so disconnected from the actual point of the game.
Which is
and the
why
point
you
of what
see
Rivens
these
were supposed
really,
to be.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It's just not what the point of Rivens were supposed to be.
Yeah, and it's why that community is so toxic. Like specific, and I only know this because I was in it for so long. I mean, you should see my ignore list. Like I can't know this guy anymore. Like and like 80, I'll say 80. That's a horribly low estimate. Like 98% of my ignore list is from trade chat. It's from these people that are just they're just mean about their prices. They're mean to you. They disrespect your opinion, and that's what they do all the time. And it's a constant thing. And so it's because they're disconnected. But you start playing with, like it took me to like stop playing the game and come back to realize this properly, which is like you start playing the game, you start running levels with random players, and you realize like this is a nice community. Like that guy, people come over, they res you, right? And he's like, hey, no problem, dude. I got you for this. I got you for that, right? You're cracking relics, but he's like, hey, I got this relic. I'm looking for this piece. And you guys, they come together. They help each other. And when you deal with Rivens, it's just like, nope, heck no. Every man for himself. Right. And so it becomes this really for me for a while. I was really dark and negative. I sat there for hours just trading over and over and over and over. And yeah, I was making like plat, hand over fist. It was just awesome. I'm like, oh, boom, 3,000 plat here, boom, 2,000 plat there, boom, 1,500 plat there, boom, 6,000 plat of not Riven, and it was just over and over and over and over and over and over, and it was just. And the hardest part was watching other people brag about these quote snipes, right? These snipes, right? And that was honestly, it became. Over time, to me, it became sickening.
That was just exploiting like people who didn't know what they had, right?
Yeah, so I'll explain for anybody that might not know. A snipe is when you purchase a Riven for incredibly cheap, and it's an incredibly good Riven, and you sell it for at least like 5 times what you paid, minimum 5 times, right? Like, and we've seen people buy Rivens for, I've seen a guy buy a Riven for 200 plat, and he sold it for 20,000. I've seen this, and he's like, and he bragging, boy, I bought it for 200 plat, man, sold it for 20K. And I'm like, I'm not like, and then I realized like, I don't really respect you. I don't think that's cool, man. I really don't. Like, you scammed a guy and then you scammed the second guy. And I just, that's how it feels. And I realized like over time, like, I can't do this anymore. I can't be a part of this. I can't deal with this. And like I said, it took it out of me, and I quit the game for 2 years. I came back a couple months ago. That's where I'm at now. And I've been looking around for great friends and stuff like that. And I play the game differently. It's a lot different. Rivens are a really difficult thing to discuss sometimes, because there's so much about them when it comes to buying and selling and being a Riven trader.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think DE should have stepped in more when everything got chaotic in the market as a whole, or do you think their laissez-faire kind of approach to it was best suited, even if things were a little crazy?
That's a great question, and this is like people talk about like socialism versus capitalism and things like that. This is a tough one to answer, because it gives DE profit to let the market run wild, right? It gives DE a phenomenal amount of money when Rivens are selling for 20K, right? That plat, like all tradable plat, is purchased, right? Well, all like the DE states in their at least the last time I looked, which is a while ago, DE stated, in like the little fine print, that they're like 100 plat giveaway, they're 100,000 plat giveaways from like their streams and stuff. That is non-tradable plat, right? So if that's not, if there aren't these windfalls of plat like that, then we know that every single bit of plat being traded, because listen, the only other plat that's constantly introduced into the game is that 50 plat when you first start the game, right? If that was tradable, we could chalk it up to whatever, but even that's not tradable. Even that MR1 50 plat new account, that's not even tradable. So every single bit of traded plat is purchased. Doesn't matter whether or not it's on 75% off or not, it's purchased. So it doesn't, like when Rivens are selling for 25,000 plat, 40,000 plat, it benefits DE massively. benefits them over and over and over and over and over again, because guys are going to see a really rare mod and they need to purchase it now. Boom, it costs 2,000 plat. I got 900. I need to buy 1,100. That's $50 or whatever, however much it is, right? That's money in their pocket, and so there's no incentive for them to stop. But but I think I really do think that they should have gotten involved and had a regulation on it, on a like at least something, right? Which is hey, Rivens will sell for more than whatever plat, because it's so much money. $200 for 4,000 plat at on the average prices, of course, without a discount, is it's hard to sit there and say when someone sells a mod for 10,000 plat that are you really selling a mod for like $500? You're really selling one piece of mod for $500? Because that's what the real price is. If you were to equate it to normal dollars without a discount, it's $500.
Yeah, that's how we've been like equating it recently. That's like the most fucked up thing, because we were saying it's like we were saying like IP or ones and zeros. So like it's just code. You're paying X amount for just a piece of code in a game. It's just so ridiculous in itself.
It is. Yeah. No, it really is. And like I said, the hardest part for me was like, what are you going to do to the new community? What are you going to do for the new players? Every time they start up and boom, they love this game. They think it's so cool. They have fun. And then they start influxing into trade chat at MR8 or whatever, start picking up Rivens. And then they realize Rivens are disproportionately priced to the rest of why can I get like the best damage mod, Serration or whatever, for a couple hundred plat? And then this thing, which has the same amount of that as that Serration, all of a sudden this is thousands and thousands of plat. And then they're like, how is this guy supposed to do anything? How is he supposed to equate that? Because I've had to do this. I've had to be the guy talking to an MR8 and I'm like, the Riven is 2,000 plat, and he just goes, huh? Like what, why? And like, wait, then they're just so confused, and it's hard not to be sympathetic for that. It's hard not to be like, yeah, man, I completely see where you're coming from, why you would be floored that it's so expensive. And like I said, after a while, I was just like, watching DE not take action was, to me, that spoke louder. That the inaction spoke loudest to me. And I talked to you about this once upon a time. The biggest one was Prime Chamber, because the final Prime Chamber sale was 300,000 plat, right? The final one from the original 100. From the original 100 Prime Chambers is 300,000 plat, and I know the guy who did it. He told me, he's like, I did it, I have it, and he's like, I feel horrible. He quit the game and stuff like that when they gave out Prime Chamber again. And I was thinking about that. Yeah, that was a big problem for me. Why is Prime Chamber 150,000 plat? Because at the time it was 150 when I quit, and then it just kept going up to 200,000, 250,000, 300,000, right? And I hated that, because they would lord it over you in their dev streams, like, oh, you could win a Prime Chamber, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, and you kind of like, I got a little cynical after a while. I'm like, really, that's all you got, dude? Are you hurting for viewers so badly that you're just gonna dangle the rarest mod in the game constantly in the hopes that people are gonna come and watch your stuff? Like, is that the goal? Is that you have no other trump cards left to play except this Prime Chamber? And so I got really disillusioned and disenchanted with the game. I got frustrated with the company and as a whole, as a gamer, right? I'm like, yeah, I think that game should be fun for all, and when instead it's fun for a few and not for all, it's not fun. It's not fair, Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So yeah, no, they should have done something. I agree. They should have done something.
Yeah. All right. So the last question that we have for you, it's usually like our general question, is: would you recommend the game in the current state that it's in to like a friend to play? Or I guess, are you happy with the state of the game?
Yes, I would. I actually recently just did that. I recently tried to bring my friend in on it. So the tough part about it is that if you are gonna bring in anybody, you gotta mentor them a little bit. You gotta have to. It's what we call expectation management. You kind of do a little bit of like, kind of prepping the field, right? You're tilling the soil. You're like, hey man, like, just so you know, this trade chat area is kind of full of minefields. if you're able to do that with certain things, yeah, bring in some. Like I love new players. I love helping new players. I think that this game is a wonderful game to play with other people, especially newer players, because they're getting wowed by all the cool stuff that you've already been wowed by. Because we all know that, like, we pull out new guns and they're like, oh man, this is so cool, guys, like, let's check this out, and like you start doing those builds and you get excited about it, right? And you're like, oh, check out this Warframe, bro, look at this build, I can get so high, like I can do all these, like I can get to like level 200 plus easy, and you start getting excited, right? It makes you happy to play these things, and that's how we should be, right? That's how the game should be, right? Which is why players are getting mad that their favorite Warframes are getting nerfed constantly and getting brought down to like levels of so-called unfun, right? When the game is meant to be fun. Like, yeah, let me kill the thing, dude. I love that my Warframe kills the thing. Why would you take it away from me, right? Right? That's the whole point of the game, is to have something that you love and you love playing. So I think there's so much to offer new players. I would absolutely recommend it to everybody with a little bit of prep work, a little bit of like, hey buddy, come on, you put your arm around his shoulder, like, hey man, let me talk to you about this real quick. you just gotta bring him in and kind of show them the ropes a little bit. So that's why I think it's especially important for veteran players to help newer players. That's a big one. Kindly, not like rudely.
And I want to say like, yeah, like you were saying too, it's like this community is like of the most friendly I've ever seen. It's like you need something in trade chat or not trade chat, but in region chat, and if it's help chat or whatever the other one is. But it's like, yeah, you ask a question. Like I see like every day people say, when's Barrow coming? And it's like, yeah, either the bot instantly says, you get like 3 people, someone says, what's this do? How do you do this? Anyone want to run this? And it's like almost instantly you get like replies, and there's like not just one, it's like multiple people that are just like, yeah, I can give a hand, I can lend a hand. People are always giving taxis. It's like this game's almost notorious for having a friendly game, like friendly fan base, and it's like I want to recommend it to like anyone.
Yeah, no, 100%. And you know what? And I came from the League of Legends community, right? That was my drug of choice for like a while, right? And it's like heroin, right? You love it. You're like, oh, I'm not heroin, but I'm like, I can imagine like this is like the drug. I love it so much, and then it's just so bad for you because the community is incredibly toxic. So coming over and playing Warframe, here I get a wonderful gaming experience, and I have a phenomenal community. Like, what's not to like?
Yeah, that brings me. I used to play. Well, I still do play WoW. I haven't for a good bit, but WoW. For people who don't know, WoW has a literal $15 to $20 subscription, and I would see people will sit in the main city in WoW and say, "This game's dead. Why do people still play this? This game's dead." And it's like, you spent $20 to complain in the chat and to ask stupid like, what?
Yeah.
I don't get it. In this community, it's like you don't see that. You don't, because it's like, especially being free to play too. It's like that's the only reason I started to play it. I didn't have any money to play a game, and it's like I saw it was free to play, and I'd seen a couple friends had played it, so I just like jumped into it.
Just play free.
Yeah, just play free.
But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having me. And to any listeners, I'm Hydrogen, and I'm always willing to help anybody. So if you want to PM me, my name is literally just the Element. It's pretty easy to know. Just let me know.
For people, for people in the CephalonChat server, his name is Cloudrain. If you need help, he is around pretty often, and it's a vibe.
yeah, I love helping people, so I will always take the time out of my day to try to help anyone as much as I can. So if anyone has any questions, always just feel free to PM me and let me know what you need.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much. We're really glad we got you.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, you're probably the most knowledgeable person on Rivens I know, so...
No, I'm glad to be of any help I could be.
It was great to have a quote-unquote professionals, discussion about Rivens and whatnot.
All right, hey, thanks guys. You guys have a great day. Okay.
Have a good one.
You too.
Good weekend. See ya. That was really good.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was fun.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think we can move on to our next segment now.
All right.
If we have time.
I got about probably like 30 minutes to do it, so...
Yeah, we should be good.
Oh, and real quick, thank you to Caperbeards 10-0 for the follow, and Thank you to Fox Damon TTV for the follow.
I wonder who Fox is, huh?
And I could never understand.
Never.
Murphy, you have to play the game to know what it is.
Riven is ultimate rapid fire mode, but for a single weapon.
Honestly, Rivens are randomized, basically upgrades for a weapon, and depending on how good a roll is, it'll sell for more, it'll sell for less. You know, real world premium currency kind of thing.
Yeah,
Right,
I don't think I've
so,
ever spent. The only dollar I've spent on this game is for Tenogen, because you know part of that money goes back to the actual creator, and it's like paying for an art commission and stuff. And like the Saren skin I got is literally art. I don't care. I don't care what you have to say about that. Oh, Pickerf is back right now because of Bolivar.
Whoa.
Don't tell us that.
It might be time for Ivor and Maokai to come back, but I don't quote me on that. Anyways, let's go back to Warframe, because we are CephalonChat, not Summoner Chat.
Do you want to do the sortie while we're talking Nightwave?
I was gonna go
sortie.
into the crime scene. We can do it while we're I don't know, because next we have we can do it when you get back, Becky.
I don't know when that will be. I don't know if Logan will still be around.
I'm doing movie after, but we can do it either like right after or whatever. If anything, you guys can do it without me. Oh, okay.
Oh,
I went back to the ship.
Oh, it's not like I wanted to leave and keep all the items we just got.
Oh, you're 100% right. I didn't get any of that either.
You're an idiot.
Oh yeah, I got everything. Did you guys?
I kept all of it, yeah, but I didn't get the glassmaker stuff.
Oh, come on, it's 150.
I need it.
Gang, I got
all
the 75
Play
off.
one emote, guys. Today is play. You got 75 off?
Yeah.
Wow, no way.
When is my turn?
No, I'm not going 5k like Jason, but I might buy some.
When is my turn? I want my turn.
Do the 4k for the 25.
Yeah, see, that's probably what I'll do. It's like not bad. I can at least buy some like deluxe bundles and shit.
Alright, so for anyone who doesn't know what Nightwave is, I'm pretty sure everyone here knows except for Murphy, who doesn't play the game, but Nightwave is essentially our free-to-play, quote-unquote, battle pass kind of thing, where every week you get new challenges to do. You know, some are like fishing in Orb Valis, others are, what was this one? Finish a capture mission in less than 90 seconds.
Right now it's play one emote.
Yeah. You get 2 elite weeklies, which give 7k, and then you get, what is it? 5. You get 5 normal weekly challenges, which give 4,500.
Yeah.
And then every day you get a new daily challenge. So yeah, so every time you finish a challenge, you get the standing, and the standing goes into this number up here. So for Nightwave, every time you hit 10k, you'll go up a rank, with the first one being crystal credits, which you can use in the credit offerings page, which you can get the, you know, helmet cosmetics, you can get some aura mods because they removed the alert system, which is how you used to get this stuff. Some different skins like the Grinlock Desert Camo, Rubico Cyanoid, and then they're also giving away the PvP turned PvE Conclave mods. And the shop rotates, but there's always staples, like the Vauban pieces will always be there. The 2 Orokins will always be there. The Nitane and the Kuva will always be there. Everything else will rotate weekly. So yeah, and then so yeah, here's all the rewards. You got the sigil, weapon slots, and I'm pretty sure we went through all of these during I think it was our 3rd episode, I want to say. But yeah, you got the Sugatra, which is really hard to see, just like every other Sugatra. You got the deadly maneuvers. We didn't get to see these mods before, so this one is for the Magnus, and on dodge it'll gain 400% headshot critical chance for your next 2 shots. It's kind of interesting, but probably not enough to make me want to use the Magnus. You get the Kubro gene masking kit, which gives a little Cephalon type pattern to your Kubro. You get the Cogna earpiece, which you can't see beneath my e-girl hair, but it definitely looks cool. You get a melee Riven mod, which is pretty hype. Can't wait for that.
Can't wait for it to be absolute garbage.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It could give me a stat stick, a better one than my QR, since my QR only has a Riven dispo of like 2. You can get the Cogna Oculus, which gives like a cool shattered glass look for like an eyepiece. You get the matching Kavat gene masking kit, so a nice cool Cephalon pattern. The Hurus polearm skin, which we have way too many polearm skins and not enough stave skins. Just gonna put that out there as a stave user. Dizzying round, just for the Bronco. Probably still not going to use this, but shots from less than 8 meters stun enemies and open them to finishers with a plus 200% status chance. Which is, wow, that's actually really high. There's the Cogna mask, which looks pretty sick. Definitely looking forward to that. There's Precision Strike, which is hitting enemy directly with a grenade, increases reload speed by 150 for 5 seconds. And that's for the Tonker. I'm not much of a Tonkor user, so I don't know how good it is or not. You got your Umbra Forma, which is always given out with Night Waves. Warframe slot, the Boolean Sindana, which actually looks pretty cool. The everyone's waiting for the Fractus shoulder guards, although it makes my Wisp look super beefy. But it still looks really awesome. I can't wait for it personally. And then my most hype one is definitely the Nightwave landing craft, which we haven't gotten a landing craft in forever. So getting Nora Knight's personal landing craft is pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. Right. So that's all like, you know, the rewards that we couldn't really see before. So I just wanted to highlight those for you guys. You were gonna say something, Logan?
Yeah, I can't wait till everyone's gonna be using the Nightwave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's all gonna be
Everyone's
Nightwave.
gonna
It's just gonna be
say.
different colored. Okay, and something really cool with this Nightwave is that they've added a interactive element to it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn my game volume up because I have it off during, so that you guys can hear the sweet backtrack we have going. I'm gonna turn up the game volume. There we go. And if you guys need it louder, just let me know. But with this Nightwave, we have an interactive element to the to unfold. I'll just quick summarize this, and I'll give you a sneak peek of what's inside the dead Ostron. Essentially, someone has found a way to glass people, and it's up to us to try and track down the killer. And as soon as you start Nightwave, as soon as you interact with the console, you'll be sent to this, like, Nora calls it her crime simula. And you go around and you look for these little data pads that have evidence on them. There's 2 data pads, a burn note, a sword, or an Ostrom weapon, and your Iatan eye. And all that stuff is going to be relevant for what comes next. But before I show you what's in here, we should probably go over what exactly cephalate resonance is. So I will leave the crime simula for a second, and we'll go over to, I want to say it's this one. Nope, I want to say it's this one. Nope, I want to say it's this one. Nope. Where did I put it?
I don't know. Where'd you put it?
Did I not? No, I totally put it in here. Oh, I know, Kuva.
Order. Come on, Jason.
I know. I took I took the pictures myself, and I didn't even put them in yet. So I'll just.
Nice.
Yeah. Technical difficulties.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll just add them onto this one. Yeah, they're in the same stupid folder too. Okay. So first off, when you're looking for cephalite resonance, Nora will come on and say, "Whoo, Dreamers, there's glass in the area. Dreamers, you gotta kill those glass guys, and you gotta get that cephalite resonance." And when she says that, the thing that you can see in front of you, the blue, those will pop up on the game around enemies, you know, supposedly, and they'll corrupt. They'll glass enemies like this. They'll glass enemies in the way they do from fissures, like relics. And in order to kill them, because they will be invulnerable, you'll have to break the glass shards that look like, kind of crystalline kind of things. You'll break those, and it'll make the glassed enemies, quote unquote, able to be damaged. And when you kill them, they'll drop cephalite resonance, which I don't have a picture of me picking one up because I'm actually capped, and you can only hold up to 20 at a time. When they die, they'll turn orange like this, and they'll actually explode, dealing quite a bit of damage if you're not, watching out for it. It'll definitely break your shield gating, leaving you open to something else.
It's like being attacked by Gara.
Yeah.
Exactly. Maybe Gara is the glass maker.
Okay.
We'll get to lore in a second.
Gara is not the glass maker. I'm pretty sure DE has confirmed that. So what we'll do now is I will use my 20 resonance, because I'm tired of getting the fissures and not picking something up. It just makes me feel like I'm missing out.
Fox, I hope so.
I'll give you guys a quick sneak peek of what is inside our glassmaker's weave. So it's definitely got a cool vibe to it. And the glassmaker himself, or some unnamed man or voice, will speak to you, and you'll have 60 seconds to answer different types of questions that revolve around the evidence that you discovered. For example, mine was the shield. And it'll give you more of the story, and you'll get a different option here. But watch out, because if you choose wrong, you'll get forced out and you'll lose your resonance.
So you really gotta pay attention to what's actually at the crime scene. It's a murder mystery, y'all.
Yep, you gotta use what you have, and keep an eye on all the clues, even if it boils down to just taking little notes of the very obviously bolded important information.
Yeah, they call it the memory weave of the forum. So I guess you're further going into the scene.
You gotta move your mic closer or speak up a little bit.
Yeah, sorry, I was a little to the side.
Thank you, much better. So, you guys want to talk about, have anything to say about Nightwave?
I think it's cool. This is my first Nightwave I've done, so, I mean, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's I missed the last one, so it's been since Wolf of Saturn 6, and it's they've definitely improved it, and it's by the third one now, it's I'm glad the story's a lot more there, and it's there's actually an interactable part to it instead of just the wolf shows up on your missions, or I don't know the second one, but if it was just a mission you do. It's like it felt a little detached still, but now it's like the rewards are all pretty good.
And yeah, and it has something to do with like big boy lore of the game, like about cephalons, which are something we encounter all the goddamn time.
And
Yeah.
a lot of controversies popped up about, how common these fissures are and how they're on a world, or like a server timer essentially, and people are trying to farm them and try to get the most they can in the shortest
you
amount of
can't.
time, and that's the issue. You're not supposed to. I
Yeah,
guarantee you that if you just play the game, you will have fissures spawn in your mission. Just because you're doing what you would usually do. You're just playing the game. Like me and Shy, we did a 2-hour mod survival, and we had the fissures spawn, like 3 or 4 times. And it just showed, like, if you just play the game, you're not gonna miss out on anything. And I don't even get me started on how many people I saw complaining about, oh, I just wasted my 10 cephalite resonance because I didn't know what I was doing the entire time. And I wasn't paying attention. I was just speeding through and trying to get the rewards as fast as I could.
Like, bruh, stop it. No sympathy here.
Honestly, if you're doing the Nightwave, you're going to have to do it properly. You're going to have to pay attention. You're going to have to experience it as, the hard work that DE put into this one. Because it is already incredibly different from the Wolf of Saturn 6 and the Emissary. Both, had world state kind of, invasion objectives, I should say. They gave something for the players to do, but this one takes it, above and beyond with a new way to experience the story, because before it would just show you cutscenes of what happened. And while I think that was really cool, because it was like a radio show or like a radio story that took place in the Warframe universe. It wasn't pertinent to the story itself, but it still gave us a look into the eyes of what was happening in the star chart, in people's lives. It's the same thing with like what Fortuna did for the game as well. But I'm just rambling, so someone stop me.
No, you're not just rambling. You're bringing up important points. It's like, sometimes y'all just gotta give it a moment. You gotta relax. You gotta go into it slow, because what's the point in rushing it when we're gonna have like 2 months of it?
Exactly. You're gonna have there's 5 chapters. If they follow a similar trend, it'll be you'll have a new chapter like every other week. And I think that's more than enough time. I think it's more than enough time, even if you just get to play on weekends. You'll have more than enough time to do the cephalite, to go into the memory weave and experience that part of the story. You'll have more than enough time to get the cephalite resonance, more than enough time to get the rewards, especially since they introduced the Nightwave catch-up mechanic, which is probably the best thing they've done, because it takes away a lot of the pressure to get the weeklies and to get the missions done, because you can just catch back up on them. You finish the ones that you have for that week, and you get ones from your past that you either ignored because you just didn't want to do them, or because you were just busy that week and you missed them. And it's a great thing. I think Nightwave is really healthy for the game. It gives a steady flow of things for players to do, even though people will complain that they're just monotonous tasks, and then they'll buy the same experience in, say, Fortnite or any other game that has a battle pass. I think Warframe did a really good battle pass. It offers unique rewards, exclusive rewards.
It's free!
And it's free. It's free. Go ahead, Logan. I cut you off like I always do.
No, don't worry. Probably very important.
You're always important to me.
Aww.
Okay.
Y'all, literally, Logan today said Jason, darling, if you could work on the stream graphics so you're not stressed an hour before with like a little smiley blushy face, and I'm like, that's true romance right there, ladies and gents.
Anyways, Logan, did you have anything you wanted to say?
He's probably vaping.
I think we summed it up pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's fun,
Sorry, I'm
especially.
just...
Huh? Sorry.
No, continue. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Especially if you're like a new player. Like, I'm still fairly new. It's something fun to do, and you get free cosmetics out of it. Yay! So I can be doing these Nightwave missions passively in other missions I'm doing while I'm trying to level up one of the many Warframes I've just built, or just trying to have a good time, or running ARBs with my friends, or trying to kill a bunch of things. Like, I wanted to do the Arc Gun mission, but I don't, have the Profit Taker. I'm not high enough standing in Fortuna, which means I can't kill the Profit Taker, which means I can't get the stuff for the segment that allows me to use Arc Guns. All these steps and stuff. But it got me to use, like, Titania, and I had a pretty good time with her. And, it's not like all these challenges are overly hard, and a lot of these things you can get, like, taxied to. Like, Exploiter, if you're just, like, new with Fortuna and you've done all the missions and stuff, you can probably just get yourself taxied to Exploiter. If, you're not really good at, ESO, and you don't want to do it solo, that's fine. You can just join up with another group that's trying to do 8 waves of ESO. When it comes to, like, lich hunting, there's always people trying to do liches for ephemeras or cool weapons and stuff, so I don't know. I think it's good even for, like, new players who might not be able to do all the challenges outright, but can, like, still vibe.
Nightwave is a way to connect players to different aspects of the game. Well, it's and people say that it forces you to, but it really doesn't, because you can afford to miss things that you really don't want to do. Like, say you have just a sickening aversion to liches, you're not gonna lose. You're not gonna lose out for just skipping the Elite Weekly once or twice, because I don't think they'll throw in the liches every other week kind of thing. There's just so many challenges for everyone to do that you got a low chance to continuously get the lich mission.
And people are so angry about some of these challenges, like the one that's like the Child at Heart one or whatever, where you have to play Happy Zephyr Wormius or Frame Fighter.
Oh my god.
People are so mad about it. It's like, this is pointless and stupid. I was like, yeah, it's called Child at Heart. What? Angie, yes. And it's so... I played Frame Fighter for the first time ever, like, this last weekend, and oh my god, it's so buggy, but so stupidly fun. I love it so much. I literally bought a Ludoplex for the CephalonChat clan, which, in case you guys didn't know, our lovely member Shy completely and utterly redid the design for.
Yeah, she spent like 4 days, straight tearing out the dojo that she threw that she kept throwing rubes into. It was like, oh wait, you mean there's no mass delete button? There's no dojo reset button?
Nope.
And so, we all spent, the next 4 days, mostly her tearing down the dojo. So big thanks to her. Much love from the CephalonChat crew.
It is looking incredible now.
Yeah, it's definitely a thick vibe. No more thin vibes here. But yeah, no, I bought a Ludoplex for the CephalonChat dojo, and I had so much fun with Frame Fighter. I don't think y'all understand, but it's so buggy and bad, but so good at the same time. I just love it.
Yeah, it's definitely unique. That's for sure.
Shall we queue up some memes?
Yeah, we can hop on into MemeFrame if you want.
Yeah, I've got my friend is going to be on her way soonish, so I'm glad I got to do the 2 big topics because I'm sure you guys can handle meme and capture
Yeah, we're at the 140
without me.
mark, so we should be okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The hard part's
All right.
over.
Logan, you
All
want to
right.
read through these?
Let me open up the memes. Are they in order from on the Imgur?
Yeah, they're all in order.
All right. You've got them on stream, right, Jason?
Mm-hmm.
Sick. Okay.
Thank you all for not you, Limbo.
Fuck you, Limbo.
You guys are so mean.
Limbo deserves every ounce of hate. I'm kidding.
This meme was made by anti-Limbo gang.
Honestly.
Mm-hmm. Who even uses Loki though? Who even uses Valkyr though?
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
you just triggered Shy.
Should I use Valkyrie?
Shy uses Valkyr.
Interesting.
Or Limbo.
Next.
Oh well.
Next one.
This one's less of a meme, more of she has the Tail Pants song. Warframe, since the beginning, Warframe itself has been a JoJo reference.
Y'all, you don't understand. It's literally the operators are stands. Fiance uses Valkyrie. Well, your fiance has a poor taste in Warframes. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
One.
This close.
This close. This close to a nice. I'm so happy I got stuck in Flotilla 69 while Scarlet Spear was ending. That was a momentous occasion in my life.
That's a huge one.
Gar is a good use. Let's see what's next.
Up next, we've got the
Upgrade.
the
Fuck, go
Korra
bad.
one.
Go back.
I think she's getting too much hate, man. I think on release it's gonna look really good, and I think people are gonna take it back quite a bit. I think Reb, I'm pretty sure they came out and said that they were using some really jank FOV and just the angling and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was all distorted.
Yeah, it was the finished one.
Exactly. I think it's gonna look
getting a
really
bit of
good.
hate, but I still think it's gonna look pretty okay.
Honestly. Oh my god.
Invested, incest.
Oh god.
That's so good.
That's so bad.
It's so funny though.
We just reused bits.
Literally just bits.
Okay, next one. Oh my god.
Jason, can you read it in your very awful Lil Duck impression?
No, you got the better little duck impression.
I don't have a good Cockney voice. Besides, we decided you're the master of impressions with your
God.
Nora Knight every single goddamn day.
Dreamers, you gotta get the glass. Dreamers, who
I fucking
dreamers?
hate it. Another back to Murex.
There you go.
Fucking really specify, like, you gotta sound out every syllable until it just sounds, like, incomprehensible. I love this meme format. I don't know where it came from or why it exists, but it is my favorite meme format.
You gotta love the Scarlet Spear memes. Next one.
I lived, bitch.
Sentience returning to the Tau system one.
That's so good.
I
Fuck the sentient.
still don't get how they made it to the origin system if the void is poison to them. But yeah, that's another talk. Next
I
one.
lived, bitch. What do you not understand?
Next one.
Got an extra weapon? No.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna let you guys all know here and now. If it's an operative defense, which it's not the hostage situation, but still, if it is an operative defense and you give that goddamn operative a weapon, I'm host migrating. I am leaving. Please do not give the hostage a weapon.
Alright.
Because they don't know how to aim. They have stormtrooper aim and about as much care for their life as the Demolists do.
Oh.
Too much confidence.
Too much confidence. They're ready to go. They're ready to go in and blow up, honestly, and I don't want to do that.
Let's
and
throw back
I
that
hate having.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding, Kuba.
that prime chamber. Let's throw back
Like-
that prime chamber meme.
God.
Said it once, you say 100 times. It's not like it was a good mod. You could use it with a Severus build if you had a Riven for it.
Exactly. A Vectis build, you mean?
Sorry, yeah.
I like spirits. Bruh.
Here's the orders.
Oh. I fucking love the sad cat meme.
Toto, no! What are you doing?
Operator, no! What are you
Why
doing?
don't you learn? Why don't you learn that your actions have consequences? Y'all, somebody please make an edit
Here's
of putting
the,
Stalker's face on top of that as like a GIF. Thank you.
Oh my god, here's the one that just speaks, you know, legend. It speaks stories to me.
Just limbo working away, farming those arcades.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's terrible.
You just gotta farm the arcades. Oh.
Real
Next one.
Bruh, this is a quality meme. Speaking of the fucking stalker. Oh, am you reckoning? And it's like, fuck you.
It's like,
I
okay,
killed
boomer.
you in like two hits of my orthos, and you're just dead. That's it. Unless it's like a Kuva mission, like a rank 5 Kuva mission, then he's like a 120 or whatever.
Man, the worst is when he spawns in like an arbitration or something, and the enemies are already like level 80.
Yeah.
So he just becomes really annoying.
dumb and stupid. Stupid and dumb.
Next one.
Bruh. Can't have that shit in Condom and Dakota controlled territory. Bruh. I've been so lucky on Lich names, honestly, I really want a Lich named Condom. Please.
Next one. Yo, it's so true. You just throw those to the side.
Again, sad cat memes are so good.
I was leveling
I'll take the
Chroma.
Lich.
I have him at 20, and I haven't touched him since.
Oh my god. Gotta get that MR, gotta keep catching up, trying to outdo each other on MR, you two.
No. Oh my god, Fox! Titania's great! Titania, I
like
love
Titania.
Titania. She's a lot of fun. The Scarlet Spear memes from all the console players, I'm gonna bet.
I fear no man. But that thing
I fear no.
scares me.
But
Okay, I don't know what you guys don't like about the error list. The error list is my baby! Ah! I love the error list so much. It's the cutest sentient. It has like a swan neck, and it looks like a weird mix of Kyogre and Lugia.
Next one.
It's my favorite Pokemon.
I'm upset they didn't put the little blushy and anime eye edits. I
This
almost did
is
it before the stream.
Baka.
I almost did it before the stream.
Bruh, just uwu voice talk. Just say the Lich lines in uwu.
Next one.
It's time to pay the idiot tax. Not like I like you or anything.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Resident E-girl makes a fool of herself on stream.
We're on the fishing one now.
I know. That was me. That was me when the fucking thumper spawned.
Oh
while
my
we were
yeah,
on
that was
stream.
so funny. We were on the interview screen, but I tab back in and all I see is a thumper popping up from the ground, and I'm like, well, this is interesting.
So here we are trying to kill a thumper as Hydrogen's giving us his quality talk about Riven sales and all that kind of stuff, and we're just like, great, let's kill this thing. I want the loot.
All right, next one. Oh man, this one goes down the rabbit hole. I'll just
Yeah.
I got no words
Just
for
leave it
this
up
one.
there.
Yeah, this one is-
MR30 likes Arcwing, Umbrella Scowl Prime, all Prime access goodies, Argon crystals don't decay, built a shrine for Rebecca on the ship, knows what's behind the infested door. As if we all don't know what's behind the infested door.
This might have been. I think this was an old meme. But you gotta love the MR20 because I think that just is all Logan.
Yeah, the one like the first few started by.
Oh,
You're cutting out a little
hold
bit.
on. Alright, unfortunately, I cannot stay for the rest of MemeFrame, you guys, so I have to head out, but, don't worry, these guys will be fairly entertaining while I'm gone, I can assure you.
Yeah, you wish. We need our Resident Ego. We're gonna lose 40 viewers.
Just grab Shy. Grab Kuva. Kuva can be your e-girl.
Now hiring a replacement e-girl for CephalonChat.
Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. If these guys are in VC when they're done, I'll probably be there. And then we can do, the sortie. Anyway, bye, guys.
Bye, thanks for hanging. Ooh, it got suddenly very quiet. Alright, so yeah, Logan, that MR21 is totally us. With especially with the optimized 280 range frost. That's me with optimized, perfect, flawless wisp build. Alright, next one. Ah, yes. Ah, yes, enslaved Endo. That's all my sorties are.
Yeah.
Anasas.
No, it was Ayatan, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Even last night we got that one.
Yeah. Next, oh my god, I love this one. Cephalon Sarcony Index.
Dayfron, Yokorp.
On Yokorp gets wins
Investor
1 point. Yokorp is working its way out of debt. Big trouble. Big trouble for Tenno. Or this after I take out the space pimple for the 10th time. Why?
It's funny. It's the same as the cat, but it's a person.
Honestly, people say that you can't hear pictures, but I can definitely hear this one.
Yeah.
Ah yes, the Grenier hierarchy, and of course you have Clem at the top. Clem is secretly the final boss of the game. Oh my god, you know how we always wonder what's at the end of the new war? It's Clem. Clem is at the end of the new war. Clem is how the sentients made it to the origin system.
He takes off his mask and he's in like an orc. That was good, man.
I don't know if you guys saw the dev stream, but this is the dev stream from home, the last one. But this is definitely this is probably one of my favorites. Rebecca trying to show us something. Hi, Tenyo. She got so mad every time. Hi, Tenno. This is me every time I play a sortie. Doing sorties like, oh boy, it's an NASA time.
It's always an acid time.
It's always an NASA time. I don't think I've gotten anything. Actually, I think we got a kick on Riven once, and that was it. And here we go. This is for the melee only sorties, and you got your glaive. You got your gunblade.
Got your teamer.
And then you got your wolf sledge, which is the only thing I can think about when I see that picture.
Just yeet.
Yeah, for whoever doesn't know, the wolf sledge was the first Nightwave's exclusive reward from the Wolf of Saturn 6, and it's a thrown hammer. Yeah, it's like a glaive but a hammer, and it's pretty great. My team during the sortie exterminate mission. Yeah, I'm just gonna not even bother. I'll just
We'll get
move
done.
along. Well, someone else will do it. My teammates during a sortie spy mission. Oh, I guess it's time to raise every single alarm, and just invade people's spy vault. Yeah, it's perfect.
Just run room to room, killing everything you can, shooting every alarm.
Oh my god. This was me 2 days ago. It's 75% off time. And my wallet just screamed. It's like, no! Why? Please don't do this to me. Gotta love it. Oh, you gotta love it when Samaris screams at you for pressing forward too much. It's
No.
yo, in real missions, I get PTSD from spamming abilities. I'm like, no, I can't. I gotta wait 10 seconds. I gotta wait 10 seconds, then I can use it again. I don't play Hydroid, but I imagine that this is how all Hydroids feel.
Yeah. You just vibe it.
This one goes out to is this your meme, Logan? Did you put this in here?
I might.
For all you go ahead. For all you lovely Warframe traders out there, you know the feeling.
It's a plus one rep fast trader.
Ah yes, this is how it feels every time I see someone join my.
Yeah, whenever a random joins the round.
And he's like MR. He doesn't even have a he's still rocking the unleveled Mark 1 Bratton, and for some reason he's just on Railjack.
Go, I guess I could chip it to a Railjack.
Yeah, this is everyone when Barrow comes around.
Yeah, that was good. This one was on topics. I think they came this week, right?
Yeah, no one cares about the primed cleanse mods.
Wait, no edge.
Any of the primed faction mods. Oof, people will laugh at them.
3 weeks in a row.
Just shit.
Prime trash after.
We got another prime chamber meme. Which after 5 years, they brought it back for 1 million credits and 2,995 ducats. I don't know why. I don't know why that price, but it's definitely a price. I remember sitting in interception, survivals, defense, just farming those ducats, working at it so I can sell a prime chamber for 500 plat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good quick flip.
194. words, 775 letters. Say it and I'm yours. Look at them. They come to this place when they know they are not pure.
Only I.
Bore. Oh.
That's so good. It's like a never dying meme.
Oh my god. This is so fucked up. Me, Samara's targets, people who just want the scans.
That's me anytime I'm using like Volt or Ember, anyone who's like a nuke frame, I just walk in and destroy the
Yeah,
Samara's
and you can see the sad Excalibur under there too.
Yeah, my little blocking in butt.
Oh yeah, we got someone shredded on the Shawzin now. Looks, I think the Shawzin is probably one of the silliest things that they've added to Warframe in a while. It's just Guitar Hero.
Yeah, they just added guitars.
You already had FL Studio. They had to add Guitar. They had to add Guitar Hero. Oh my god, what?
It's a sparrow.
Tenno, is this Barrow?
Could this be him?
We got another topical Anasa sortie meme.
Yeah.
Oh boy, 12 p.m. Time for my Anasa.
It's right on the clock every time.
Oh my god. What?
It's like when you get to the Mesa. Yeah.
I'm at the Mesa when you want to explain this one.
Country girls make do.
What the hell? What is this?
The original meme, it's like corn. It's like, what the fuck?
What is this? This is cursed. Oh god, this is just... it's off my screen. It's cursed.
I was waiting for this one to pop up. It's like, wow. This one just
Yo.
stands out of
the Excalibur Umbra and the Sacrifice versus Excalibur Umbra when I play him. Yo, he was a behemoth in the Sacrifice. I remember trying to take him down with the modem. Oh my, that was just god awful. Any kind of Warframe event that DE Rebecca hosts starts DE Rebecca. Hi, Tendril.
That's the best.
Oh my god, he was so adorable. I loved him.
Snuck in.
Stone Age girls make yabba dabba doo.
No.
Oh my god. What if you wanted to go to heaven, but God said your access to in-game chat has been suspended? All right, you know who said Najah was a
That's where it cuts off.
the thing Indiana Jones movies are most known for.
You know, there's that famous line from the Admiral Akbar, I think.
One cool witch name, please, is Pepis okay? Oh my god. Why is it not Bepis? That would have been way better. It's close enough.
Mm-hmm. Just peeping.
Yo, this is a big mood. 13 meters, I sleep 13 meters, real shit. Because, you know, the difference, if you didn't know, there is a difference between the Iatan, between the cyan stars and the amber stars, yeah. The amber ones are thick.
Yeah, I have about 300 cyans and about 3 embers.
Excellent CephalonChat.
It's ridiculous.
Thank you, Ishoni, for the follow. Means a lot to us.
Thanks a bunch.
Welcome to the show. We got next up we have are these are arrow chassis?
It's all good.
I love it. It's like when you're doing an ARB and you can just suddenly build 4 different Oberons as
Yeah.
soon as you finish.
You have 4 Oberon sets, a full hero. I think I'm honestly, I sell them like every time I get to like 300, and I'm at like 227 again right now. I just have an excess of heroes.
And
Hero
that's gonna be all for our meme frame this
I
week.
just got one right now, a hero chassis.
Oh, look at that! That's gonna be all for meme frame this week.
That's all the memes.
That's all the memes we got.
Some decent ones. Okay, I guess while we're wrapping up, or before we wrap up, we're gonna show off some lovely, lovely fashions from the community.
Yep, I got a couple going over the new Ash Deluxe that just came out. If I can just, I'll add them on and add on a couple more, so we can start with this one by Flowers.
Very cool.
And if you ask, I'm pretty sure they have a Destiny 2 edit for it. Because that gives me just some pure raw Destiny vibes right there, and I gotta say it's the cloak that does it.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely the cloak that highlights it. All right, let's see.
They really just kind of dropped like a new deluxe that you can tell they put some work into it. I like the Syandana. I don't use bows, so it's not gonna be on a care, but it's like the amount of detail on this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, until like Protea comes out to see like a fully like a new frame that will be like so much detail to her.
I'm just saving these ones so that we can show them off. There we go. All right, next up we have one of Kuva's, and it's just we got Ash taking a smoke break, because mass slaughter is just too hard work for him. All right, thanks for hanging, Fox.
Thanks for swinging by, Fox. Take it easy for now. I'm sure we'll see you in the server.
Tough day on the field. Too true.
It's been a long one.
We got another one by Kuva, and this is another one of Ash clearly just taking a break. Doing something a little funnier this time, though.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Didn't need to flex the of a fiance. That's what I love. I put this one in the Instagram post too. It's like I saved it. It's so good. Just riding the drone.
Now we got some of Fox Daemons. We got Ash rocking the throwing knives on the plains of Eidolon. Looks absolutely amazing. I don't get how people do Capturas so well. Everyone that we talk to has some just absolutely astounding Capturas.
The glow on the daggers looks so good. Like,
I know.
my lord.
We got one in Harrow's Temple, which I know is a big one for Captura users. I don't have it yet because I am not allied with Red Veil. Yes, the new Ashkin is super nice. Is it the 2018 armor? I don't know. I don't have a. I know this one is the. Actually, no, this is the 2018 armor. Because I know the 2019 armor was just this, but flipped upside down.
Oh yeah.
Alright, we have another one by Fox, and it's a stunning looking. Same one as the first one, but it's from a different angle, it looks like. And it looks absolutely astonishing. So, we just wanted to take this time to remind our viewers and anyone new who's watching that we're doing a Captura contest. This time it's going to be Spring Has Sprung, and what we really want you to do, we just want you to theme your Captura around springtime. Even though, you know, we're getting closer and closer to summer, but I'm just happy with spring. So we want you to theme a Captura to spring, and you can use any Warframe, any scene, any weapon, If you want to use your operator, you can do that. If you want to partner up with someone, you can do that. Just let us know whether you want the award split or
Yeah, it's either one, whichever works.
Yeah, you can partner up. You can do whatever you want. There's pretty much no restrictions, just the theme you guys gotta follow. And that will be, the deadline will likely be on Wednesday or Thursday. We'll have a permanent number for you guys by tomorrow, at the latest.
Yeah, we should be good.
Yeah, we just gotta pick the next show day, which we do not know yet, but it'll probably be a Thursday or a Friday.
Yeah, Thursday's definitely better than Friday. Probably same time as today, like a 7 kind of deal.
Okay.
Alright, for our shameless self-promotions, if you're not already part of the Discord, you can find the link down below by clicking the big check our Discord button. Self-promotion number 2, we have a fully functioning clan now. Everything's built, so if you're on Warframe on PC, and you're in the Discord, you can drop us a message in the clan chat, or if you're in here, you can drop a message and you want to join. We have all the rooms. We're trying to get it so everyone can at least have a room or a quarter of a room to build, freely decorate, to do whatever they want. As well as right now, anything is just kind of freely open. So like the grandest halls, the grand halls, the observatory, everything's open. We have a YouTube channel, which is just CephalonChat, where we will be uploading the full-length videos, or full-length aside from being slightly cut down. Full-length videos, we're going to be doing, like today's interview will be cut down as its own segment. MemeFrame will probably be its own segment. All the Tenno's Next Top Models will be their own segment. And then anything else, we might do some, we found some suggestions for like fishing spear only exterminate. We did defense using only operators, so we might just post some like little funny ones like that. If we ever end up doing an hour of index again or something, it may just be a YouTube video. So if you do want to, give us a follow there too, and we much appreciate it.
And one more thing, I'm trying to put together another segment for next week, or like another 2 segments. Maybe not for next week, but I want anyone who likes to decorate their orbiter, I want you guys to send me pictures or send me a video of your orbiter so we can show it off on stream as well. We can maybe make a contest out of that one too. But I also want any of your guys' crazy synergies that you guys have, and I'm not talking about, oh my god, this one-shots everything, but I recently got my hands on a maxed arcane pistolier, and if you proc it and use it with the Exorgist, it's pretty glorious, because arcane pistolier gives 102% ammo efficiency. So to single shot weapons, it means there's no ammo cap, there's no reload, so you can just spam fire it as fast as you can click. So I love stuff like that. I love like a Savage Silence Banshee with Arcane Trickery and the Skishiati. I am a big fan of that one. And any other ones that you might have that you think are cool or unique, or just like off meta and fun. I want to see them all. And you don't have to submit a video. You can just describe them to me, and we'll try to show them off on stream as best we can. And I'll make an announcement about that later too. So.
Yeah, be sure to check if you are. Be sure to follow the Discord, because that's where we post all our announcements, everything that's important regarding us and the stream, any competitions we do, and any other fun.
Yeah, we just like to hang out in there pretty much every day, and you can talk with us, get to know us.
Yeah, we usually hang out in the general if we can, so if you're ever around, feel free to jump in. And that, huge thank you to everyone who tuned in today. Thanks to all the new people who followed.
Yeah, big thanks to our new followers, Capered Beards, Fox Damon, and Ishoni. Thank you so much, guys. Means a lot to us. You know, we do this for fun, but it's great to see that other people find enjoyment from this too.
That's always... We're not there yet, but it's really nice to see that people actually watch, are actually excited to see us, so really huge thanks.
So
we're slowly moving towards our 50 follower goal. I think we're not goal, but that's our first like
milestone.
milestone, I guess. What are we at now? 30, 35, maybe 36? Is it?
I am not entirely sure, but somewhere around there probably.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. Alright, other than that, I guess I'll give my my signature stovepipe and take it easy, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Have a good one, guys. We'll see you next week, and we'll be in the server to hang out with you guys. Have a good one.